One of the biggest myths that stops people from even trying a raw vegan lifestyle is this belief that you need thousands of dollars worth of fancy equipment, that your kitchen has to look like a professional restaurant, that you can't possibly succeed without the most expensive, high-end gadgets on the market. I hear this all the time from people who are interested but feel overwhelmed before they even start. They see raw food influencers with massive Vitamix blenders, commercial dehydrators, top-of-the-line juicers, and they think, well, I can't afford all that, so I guess raw veganism isn't for me. But here's the truth that nobody talks about enough. You only need a few basics to go raw. And beginners can absolutely start with affordable alternatives and still create incredible meals. You don't need to drop your entire paycheck on equipment. You can start small, use what you have, find deals, and gradually build your raw kitchen over time as you figure out what you actually use and love. Let me be completely honest with you about what equipment is actually essential and what's just nice to have. The first thing on the list is a blender, and yes, a high-speed blender like a Vitamix or Blendtec is absolutely incredible if you can afford it. These machines are powerful enough to create silky smooth nut milks, creamy sauces, perfectly blended soups, and they'll last you for years, even decades with proper care. A Vitamix can run you anywhere from $300 to $600 depending on the model. And honestly, if you're going to invest in one piece of equipment, this is the one I'd recommend because you'll use it every single day. But here's the thing, you don't have to start with a Vitamix. A standard blender from Target or Walmart that costs $40 to $80 will still get the job done, especially when you're just beginning. You might need to blend things a little longer, you might need to add more liquid, and your nut milks might not be quite as smooth, but you can still make smoothies, sauces, dressings, and soups. I started with a basic blender, and I used it for over a year before I upgraded. Don't let the lack of a high-speed blender stop you from starting. The second essential is a food processor. This is your workhorse for creating textures, making raw crusts, processing vegetables, creating nut-based fillings, and so much more. A good food processor doesn't have to be expensive. You can find decent ones at Walmart or Target for $40 to $80, and they'll handle everything you need as a beginner. Cuisinart makes reliable models that are affordable and last for years. The food processor is what allows you to make raw pizza crusts, energy balls, nut cheeses, veggie burgers, and all those fun textured foods that make raw eating exciting. It's a must-have, but it's also one of the more affordable essentials. Now let's talk about dehydrators, because this is where people often get intimidated by the price tags. The Excalibur nitrate dehydrator is considered the gold standard in the raw food community. It's large, it's powerful, it has even heat distribution. And if you're serious about making raw crackers, breads, cookies, veggie chips, and all kinds of dehydrated goodies, it's an amazing investment. A 9-tray Excalibur runs around $300 to $400, which is not cheap. But here's what I want you to know. You absolutely do not need a dehydrator to start eating raw. I didn't own a dehydrator for the first 6 months of my raw journey, and I still eat incredibly well. Fresh salads, smoothies, wraps, zucchini noodles, fresh fruit, none of that requires a dehydrator. When I did finally get one, I found it on Facebook Marketplace for half the retail price because someone was moving and needed to downsize their kitchen. If you want to start with a smaller, more affordable dehydrator just to experiment, you can find basic models for $40 to $80 at places like Walmart or Amazon. They won't have as much capacity and the heat distribution might not be as even, but they'll let you try making kale chips and simple crackers to see if dehydrating is something you enjoy before investing in the top-tier model. Juicers are another piece of equipment that can feel overwhelming because the prices range so wildly. The Nama J2 is the current hot pick in the raw food world, and for good reason. It's a cold-pressed masticating juicer that extracts juice with minimal oxidation. It's easy to clean, it's quiet, and it produces incredibly high-quality juice with a long shelf life. The Nama J2 costs around $500 to $600, which is a significant investment. Before that, people were raving about the Huron and the Omega juicers, which are also excellent and slightly more affordable in the $300 to $400 range. But here's my honest take on juicers. They're amazing if you love drinking fresh juice and you're committed to juicing regularly, but they're not essential when you're just starting out. You can make smoothies in your blender and get all the fiber along with the nutrients, which is arguably even better than juicing. If you really want fresh juice, you can even make it in a blender and strain it through a nut milk bag. It's more work, but it's free if you already have a blender. I waited over a year before getting a juicer, and when I did, I bought a used Omega on Craigslist for half price. It's still going strong years later. Beyond these bigger items, there are a few smaller, affordable tools that make raw food prep so much easier. A mandolini slicer is fantastic for creating thin, even slices of vegetables for raw lasagnas, carpaccio, or chips. You can get a decent mandolini for $15 to $30. A spiralizer is essential for making zucchini noodles, cucumber noodles, or any kind of veggie pasta. Handheld spiralizers cost as little as $10 to $20, and countertop models are around $30 to $50. I use my spiralizer at least a few times a week, and it was one of the best $20 investments I made. A good chef's knife and a cutting board are obviously essential, but you probably already have those. A nut milk bag for straining nut milks and juices costs about $5 to $10 and lasts forever. A citrus juicer, even just a handheld one for $5, makes it easy to juice lemons and limes for dressings and water. Mason jars for storing prepped ingredients, sauces, and dressings are cheap and versatile. Now let me give you some real budget tips that have saved me so much money over the years. Thrift stores are absolute gold mines for kitchen equipment. I found food processors, blenders, dehydrators, and juicers at thrift stores for a fraction of their retail price. Sometimes they're barely used because someone got them as a gift and never opened the box. Sometimes they're older models that still work perfectly fine. Always check the thrift stores in wealthier neighborhoods, because that's where people donate their high-end equipment when they upgrade. Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist are also incredible resources. People are constantly selling their kitchen equipment because they're moving, downsizing, or just not using it anymore. I've gotten some of my best deals from Facebook Marketplace. Just make sure to test the equipment before you buy it if possible, or at least get a video of it working. Walmart and Target often have surprisingly decent kitchen equipment at affordable prices, especially during Black Friday sales or back-to-school sales when small appliances go on clearance. I've bought blenders, food processors, and other tools from these stores, and they've served me well. Amazon also has sales throughout the year, and you can set up price alerts for items you're watching so you know when they drop. Refurbished models are another great option. Vitamix and other high-end brands sell certified refurbished blenders at significantly reduced prices, and they come with warranties so you're protected if anything goes wrong. Here's the approach I recommend for beginners. Start with what you have, or what you can afford right now, even if that's just a basic blender and a knife. Begin making simple raw meals like smoothies, salads, and fresh veggie wraps. As you get more comfortable and figure out what kinds of raw foods you love making, then you can start investing in additional equipment one piece at a time. Maybe 3 months in, you realize you're making a lot of nut-based sauces and you'd really benefit from a food processor. So that becomes your next purchase. 6 months in, you're obsessed with making raw crackers and you decide to invest in a dehydrator. A year in, you've been making blended juice in your blender and straining it, and you're ready to upgrade to a proper juicer. There's no rush. Your kitchen doesn't have to be fully equipped on day one. I also want to mention that you can do so much raw food prep with just basic tools that you probably already have. A regular vegetable peeler can create zucchini ribbons for raw pasta. A cheese grater can shred vegetables for slaws and garnishes. A regular knife and cutting board can julienne vegetables for spring rolls and wraps. A mason jar and a whisk can make salad dressings. You can soak and blend cashews in any blender to make cream sauces. You can make energy balls by hand if you don't have a food processor. It just takes a little more effort to match the dates and mix everything together. The point is, creativity and commitment matter more than equipment. Start small, use what you have, find deals, be patient with yourself, and grow your kitchen over time. I promise you, the quality of your raw food journey has nothing to do with how much money you spend on gadgets, and everything to do with your willingness to learn, experiment, and prioritize your health. Don't let the equipment myth stop you from experiencing the incredible benefits of raw living.